Hello children, it's Mr. Farrier here. Now I want to continue our maths lesson looking at coordinates. Now last time we looked at coordinates in the first quadrant, which were the positive coordinates, the positive numbers. Today I want to look at coordinates in all four quadrants. So if we look at question number 1, you'll see there are 8 little dots and they're all spread along all four quadrants on this X and Y grid. Can you see that? So you can see, for instance, A and F, that's in the first quadrant. And for instance, B and G, that's in the second quadrant. And can you see that C and E, that's in the third quadrant. And D and H, that's in the fourth quadrant. So if we start looking at putting coordinates, which are in pairs, for each letter, you can see A, that's in the first quadrant, which is quite easy. That's 3 along and 2 up. So the coordinates for that would be 3, 2. And we did that last time, so you should be familiar with coordinates in the first quadrant. So if you now look at B, we're moving on to the second quadrant now. So you go along first. So if you go along -3 and you go up +2, the coordinates for that are -3, 2. If we move on to letter C, you can see that's in the third quadrant. And remember, we go along the corridor first. So we go along to -3, and then we go up or down. In this case, it's down -2. So the coordinates for C are -3, -2. And finally, if you go to letter D, which is in the fourth quadrant, you've got across +3, and then you've got down -2. So the coordinates are 3, -2. So if you can have a go at completing coordinates for E, F, G, and H, then that would be fantastic. So if you can pause the video and fill the coordinates for those in, that would be brilliant. Thank you. Okay, children, if we move on to question number 2, you can see there are 2 squares, A and B, in 2 of the quadrants. So I'd like you to put the coordinates for each of the vertex or the vertices, which are the corners, for each point on each square. So you'll do, for instance, on A, one of the coordinates are -1, 3. And if you can do the other 3 corners of square A, and then do all 4 corners for square B, that would be brilliant. So if you pause the video now and have a go at that. Thank you. Okay, if we now move on to question number 3, this time you have to draw a blank coordinate grid. So if you start from +5 right through to -5 on the y-axis, that's the one that goes up and down. And if you go across, again, -5 to 5 on the x-axis, that'd be brilliant. Once you've done that, you then need to plot these coordinates on the blank coordinate grid, which shows here, which is -3, 0, 4, 0, -1, 5, and -1, -5. What you have to then do is join the points you have plotted to form a quadrilateral, which is a 4-sided shape, and you therefore have to then tell me what that quadrilateral is. What shape is it when you've joined all those points together? So have a go at that, pause the video and have a go. Thank you. Hopefully you've done question 1, 2 and 3. So now question number 4. This is where you will need to write coordinates for 4 possible points in each quadrant here. So you've got the X and Y coordinate grid, but you haven't got any numbers down the side or across now. So there will be some various answers. And I want you to have a good guess of what the coordinates could be for the letters here. So you've got P, Q, R, and S. And they could be a range, actually. So if you give me some examples of those coordinates for P, Q, R, and S, that'd be great. And the second part of the question is write 4 different coordinates that are not in any single quadrant. So think about that and you should notice a pattern. So pause the video and have a go at question number 4. Thank you. Right, here is question number 5. This time, again, you're going to need to draw a blank coordinate grid. This time I suggest your y-axis up and down goes from positive 6 all the way down to minus 6 with the 0 in the middle. And then the x-axis should really go from minus 10 to positive 10 along. And you need to plot these coordinates on the blank coordinate grid, and then you're asked to write 3 other coordinates that would be in the same line because it's a straight line. Okay, so have a go at question number 5. Pause the video now and have a go. And the very last question, which is a lovely question, it's quite a tricky question. It needs a great deal of thought, and I'll give you a little bit of a hint with it. These are 2 identical triangles, but they're one's on its side and the other one's upright, so they are the same triangle in terms of the dimensions of the triangle. And you've been given the coordinates for some of the vertices there. So you've got minus 12 and minus 4 is one of the points. Minus 3, minus 4 is another point. 20 minus 4 is another point you've got. And you've got to tell me what the coordinates are for M and N. And the only help I'm going to give you is you'll know the first coordinate for each pair of coordinates. So the M is going to start with a minus 12 because that's how far along it is. And the N is going to start with a 20 because that's how far along that is. And you've got to actually find out the height of M and N. And just remember, they're the same triangle but just turned slightly on its side. Have a go at that, pause the video, and really have a real good think of question number 6 and see if you can give me the coordinates for M and N. Good luck, guys. I will look forward to seeing your answers and speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.